Welcome, ID Crisis. How are you, sir?
There he is.
There he is.
Yes!
Let's rock!
Be quiet.
Add this and figure out where to put it. I think that should be pretty good. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Thursday. Nothing makes Wednesday better than remembering that it's Wednesday. So I'm just continuing on from what I was doing on this fender a day ago, and I'm just trying to get myself set here. I want to be able to see my I want to be able to see this, for crying out loud, and it's not showing up on my phone. Your movies and TV. I don't have any purchases. My videos. Yeah, I feel like I should be able to see this and like interact with people, but it's not doing that. I need to subscribe to my own channel. I mean, I had it on there yesterday. There it is. Subscribe to my own channel. Okay. Gloves going on. Gonna get the brush wet here second. And then just have my phone set up here so that I can check over and check on the chat. Hope everything's going good with you, Mel. Haven't talked to you in a while. Hope you had a good Christmas, good New Year. The one hair sticking out. Okay. So if you missed yesterday, what's happening here is, move this over for just a second. My painter, one of his customers, totally screwed up his fender. And I'm replacing the pinstriping with something similar, but a little bit more my style. So it's not one of those instances of being under total remote control. I don't have to duplicate something I don't like entirely. And Right now I'm just palleting the brush. I thinned this paint out a little bit. It was kind of gummy yesterday after I put in the hardener. So now it's a little too thin for my taste, and I just want to make sure that I get it's got to be at the right consistency to be able to pull decent lines. So let's see. Happy New Year. Yeah. Oh man, I don't know how the fender got crunched. These things go down all the time. You know, it's like they say loud pipes save lives, but even that's not a guarantee that, you know, somebody's just going to totally ignore that you're out there on the road. I do not myself, I do not ride. Um, I've thought about it, but I don't think I don't think I need any more reasons to not get shit done around here, and being out on the road on a motorcycle is probably, especially for, it's like when people talk about riding motorcycles, it sounds the same as when people talk about getting into golf, and that what you're actually doing is experimenting with a drug. And that's the thing that's going to be taking up all your time and your thought process. You know, not that, you know, you necessarily be obsessed with it, but I just can't imagine watching golf on TV. I mean, I like going to the driving range and all that stuff, and you know, I like motorcycles, but you know, when people talk about what it's like to ride a motorcycle, it makes me think of, you know, oh man, you got to try this heroin just once. You guys seeing that? Mhm. So I'm trying to stylize this thing a little bit more than, like I was explaining yesterday, the art that's on the old fender looks like, I don't know who did it. I don't know what stage in their career they were painting it. I am not a fan of it. I think that it's okay. Now I don't know what happened there, but I think maybe there's a I think maybe I lost a hair in this brush. I'm gonna have to pick out of there now. Yep, freaking. So yeah, you see this. I don't know if you can see it. I could zoom in, but I got to get out of the chair and walk over to the computer to do it. So I got to use this little paint pusher to push that little mistake back in. When a brush starts to get, well, I won't say old, overly seasoned, they'll start to go bald. and every once in a while, you'll be pulling a line and a hair just comes out of the brush. Hey Jen, thanks for the compliments. So if you're watching on Facebook, I can't see you in the chat on YouTube unless I look over at the computer, and then it becomes an eye test. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. I haven't had a chance to talk to Tom yet. Okay. I don't know where I want to go to yet from here, but I think I'm going to double this line up the top of the cross. Maybe. No, yeah, I'll do that. Come across here. That's boy, black is not one of my favorite colors. It's so greasy, it slides all over the place. And it's been forever since I tried to stream something like this because the setup the setup isn't it's dirty and cramped in here, and there's the aspect of getting the camera angle right. um, Talking while you're in the middle of this, not that you have to, but and then like I was explaining yesterday, it hasn't been forever since I've done this, but it's been long enough that I feel like the first couple of strokes, especially with black, is um is a fight. This The material that you're using is supposed to work with you. Yeah, well, yeah, and Melissa, this is actually a Russian blue hair squirrel, I think. They're actually just kind of kept around for, I'm sure there are farms for these things, or they just breed squirrels for the tail hair. Maybe that's how it works. That'd be kind of an interesting job to have, squirrel breeder. Okay, let's see. What actually would make sense is I just connect. Oops, there it is. Hit the camera with my head. I just connect this to this. Yeah, and the paint being glossy doesn't help either because it makes such a glare, but I have to have light so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to put this up. then I'm gonna click the zoom and see if that helps. Hey, Cool Frog. What's up, man? Hope you had a good New Year, Christmas. I got your message, and I'm not going to go on and on about it because I can't stand when people do this. But I got sick after Christmas, and you can kind of still hear it, still lingering. I think I'm going to have to come in with the silver and fix that line right there. It's either that or fatten the other one up. If I keep going, it's just going to be one giant black blob. I mean, it looks okay on camera, but I live 6 inches away from this stuff, so it's like, you see everything. All right, coming down in a V. I need to, there's a little too much empty space in here, so I want to kind of resolve that without making it super busy everywhere else. Incidentally, if anybody hasn't done so, they should check out the Kit Bash Federation, my brother's model making channel. He just put a video up, but it's more of an update to his work area, and not that it's like a competition of brothers type thing, but I'm definitely going to be asking him, hey, because I've got it's not a super disorganized mess, but I definitely need to plan things out down here. There's no floor per se, but he's like putting in closet space and really getting organized. And um, I'm I'm kind of jelly about it a little bit. How do I want to do this? I think I'm gonna just go from here to here. Fatter than I'd like, but whatever. This paint is a little watery. Yeah, I hope so too. Thanks, Cool Frog. Um, it was great. Hey, what did you get for Christmas? Oh, I got some pajamas. I got a movie. It's like the Christmas version of Charlie Brown's Halloween. I got a rock. I don't like that line. I do not like that line at all. Hmm. There's one more color that goes on here, silver. So at points like this, where I'm not super stoked about where the line is going, I know that I can come in with the second color and fill it in and help to even things out. You got a 4-year-old to sing Jingle Bells? Yeah, you know what? What do they say? Good things come in small packages, and children are small, and they can be good things if they behave. Which is the thing, cool. They get bigger, and you know what happens after that. It's one of those things. It's like it's almost like at light speed. One day they wake up and they're trying on their own personality, and in so many ways it just doesn't fit. Like, you're gonna walk out of the house like that? Are you sure you want to do that? It's a really bad look. Um, so, like, for instance, not to get too political, but well, buckle up. I took my 18-year-old to a doctor's appointment, and she had what is it, eye doctor, right? And so you figure before I, take her back to school, we'll go get something to eat and, talk about her classes and things like that. And she has it's called CAD, but it's not computer aided design. It's like like current, it's more like current day politics. They civics and things like that, which is great. And everybody has you know, their candidate that they're looking into, or that they like or don't like, or whatever. And you're like, I've heard my daughter swear before, but I never thought I'd ever hear the words Nikki Haley come out of her mouth. And I was like, no, we need to talk. But honest question and honest answer. I'm like, because she's a girl, I'm like, what percentage of her being a woman goes into you, picking that? And just trying to explain to her, not that, because we've had our chances with, decent female candidates in the past. And, it's that strange thing that happens, when you're not thinking along the lines of the mainstream, all of a sudden being a woman doesn't matter. You know, you could be as dumb as a post. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to throw some silver in there, because there's like these blotches of black that happen here and here and here, which is probably, I think I can move on to the silver. I'm just gonna mix that up real quick. Yeah, is that right? Like, how recently has that happened, Cool Frog? Because I mean, like, she's a war hawk. You can't sustain, you can't sustain good tidings with your Raytheon buddies unless you have a war to fight. But it's like, even if she's doxxed, even if documents come out and say exactly, where she was and who she's, what sandbox she's playing in, um, that has to get out there widely distributed enough. And then this is the part you can't control. People have to actually believe it. They have to, go beyond their idol worship of whichever candidate, and believe for a moment, however impossible, that they're fallible creatures and they don't have your best interests in mind. So few people are willing to do that. My next color set up here. Probably going to knock the camera over while I look for this paint. I tell you, I gotta get better stuff. Now I know other people are on that in the young leaders list. I know that who's that dork in Canada? You can see his dumb face. Castro's kid, you know. Why am I having this brain fart? Justin Trudeau. He's one of those young leader cats. Yeah. Where's the hardener? I just had it. Okay. So for anybody who finds this later, years from now, silver hardener stuff is getting a little gelified, but it's still really good. The hardener usually comes in a big 16-ounce can, and I transferred over to toothpaste tubes so that it doesn't become too much headspace in something like hardener, and it'll just turn into jelly. You'll use it one time and that's it. The same thing with when I'm painting a firearm and I'm using Duracoat. There's an option for them to send the hardener in like little 1-ounce bottles, and that's what I get it in, and then keep it in the refrigerator to extend its life. All right, silver. Not a huge fan of silver, just because if you don't mix it with something else, you stand the. It's possible that it can wear off on the surface, but this is going to be getting clear coated, so it's a whole different game. It really doesn't matter. It just has to have a good texture. It has to have a good, I should say, a good consistency. And that's how you tell. You kind of palette the brush, drag it across your. Well, I use magazine pages, and then it'll feel like it's a little, not like it's drying out, but that's why you have this. You have thinner right here, so you can dip it in the thinner and thin it out. Use some chroma flow and give it and zero in on like when the paint is ready to pull a stripe. So yeah, well, I don't know. How often have you run into people who are like, honest to God, looking forward to 2024? Because I'm not sure that I am. I don't want to depress my viewers or anything like that, and whatever. It's but I feel like it's only gonna get it's just gonna get weird. It's just gonna get even weirder. You can see that. Like what you're supposed to do when you're working with two colors is that there should be a dominant one. You can see this. There should be a dominant one and then like a highlight color. And what the old Fender looks like is that the two of them are competing with each other for attention. And so I want to use the silver sparingly. Get my head out of the shot. Stuff is still a little thin for my taste. That's going to be a lot. Well, like what you're saying about Taiwan makes a lot of sense, but there's also the it's really, I mean, it's hard to use 9/11 as an example because my attitude on what that actually was has changed over the years. I don't want to get conspiratorial, but I mean, after 2020, after the coronavirus and all that stuff, how can how do you not look back on history and go, okay, what was that really? Now that you know that you've been, of course, you got to be careful what I say here, or they'll take a damn pinstriping stream down. But you want to believe that your government has your best has your best in mind, but for crying out loud, they're human beings, and therefore deceitful. All right, wish me luck on this. Cool. I might even just straight up outline that and give me a like again. I don't want to make it complicated, but I do need these lines to go somewhere that makes sense. Close this off a little bit. Oh, you fucker. Look what it did. Damn it. killing me, Smalls. Sorry, I was on a tangent there. Just got back and just read your thing. Okay, so basically, my point is, I mean, aren't we going to be dealing with a hat full of red flags? Just reach in and find one. Um, here's a fake catalyst to start your war. And at the same time, if it's a legitimate thing, um, why wouldn't China do it before somebody stronger than Biden, and that's anybody, somebody stronger than Biden gets in there and starts actually governing like a man, even if it's a woman. Okay. No, hate that. With Trump looking at Nikki for VP, he will not win. I wouldn't. Um, this is normally where things tend to go. Well, I don't want to say go south. We're friends, so and we're like mature adults. I honestly don't think Trump should be the guy. I honestly think there's a there's a better option, and I think that better option is going to end up winning Iowa. I think we got way too much wishy-washiness that people are willing to forget about because of the way the election went. That perfectly fortified election went, and sorry, there's like a shut up and paint thing going on in my head. No way. I'm sorry, Vivek. No, I do not. I think Vivek is I think he's smart. I don't even think he wants. I don't even think. No, I prefer. The entire time I've been looking at what DeSantis has done in Florida and his track record. That if more people actually paid attention to that instead of the campaign, he wouldn't need to campaign as much. Not that he's doing a great job campaigning, but I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can do what he's done in Florida, like firing bad Soros DAs, making two hurricanes a non-story. The you know the going and basically letting Disney step on every socio-political rake they possibly can until they end up losing what was it 65 billion in capital simply by um, governing on the convictions of your own beliefs. The influx of people that come to Florida, the way that he handled COVID, um, and when it comes to the primary and trying to call Trump out and debate stuff, he's not wrong. Trump did not have a primary stolen from him, but the in Minecraft. Um, there's all this talk about loyalty to Trump, and I get that to a certain extent, but he does not actually extend that same loyalty to the people who tried to defend him when he needed help. All anyone has to do is like talk bad about his hair, and all of a sudden they're being thrown under the bus. So that the loyalty that he expects from people, I just don't see there's no reciprocity. And excuse me, I mean, if you've ever dealt with any total lack of loyalty from somebody that you thought was your friend in the past, and then hit the camera again, yeah, and then find out that that's not the case, um, that's never. It's just that's. I sympathize with people like Jenna Ellis. She did a lot of good work defending that guy, and then I don't know. It's just not how. I don't see it as very adult. Um, I think he did a lot of good stuff, but I also think he handed the keys to the entire country over to a garden gnome as soon as trouble reared its ugly head in 2020. And you know, um, I don't want to take away the good that he did. He had some great policies, and the economy flourished, and that's awesome. But this other stuff, it's untenable. I think he's hilarious too. Let's see, maybe RFK. He's a huge environmental guy. Um, then everybody with Trump, and I think anyone seem to like a better choice. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. I mean, considering that state governments, for the most part, not entirely, but for the most part, work with the same kind of mechanism as a federal government does. You have a legislature, you have your courts. Um, Not only that, but there's a it makes a huge difference who you surround yourself with, and I see a lot of hiring and firing in the Trump cabinet. I think that he's not so good at vetting people, and he has a it's not are you good at your job. It's almost like I can't believe I'm saying it now that I really think about it. It's almost like a diversity, equity, and inclusion type habit. It doesn't matter if you're good at your job, you just have to like me, and that's it. Like it doesn't matter if you're good at your job, you just have to be this color or whatever. And with Trump, it's almost like that. Like, oh yeah, yeah, be good at your job, but as long as you're really good at kissing my ass, that's really the only job requirement. And yeah, a lot of people can get away with a lot of shit if all you need to do is show up at work to kiss your boss's ass. Try not to get my head in the shot. I mean, whatever. I mean, everybody's opinion to their own. I wish it. I hope it doesn't take too long to convince people that what they are actually seeing is and again, I mean, I don't want to insult anybody's sensibilities, but I'm we can see these tantrums happening now. Like I don't know, you're talking about being the leader of the free world after you, by the way, after you paid $400 million to promote the CARES Act, which is the very thing that got you your presidency lost in the first place. That's not wise. If you're going to say that you're going to go in there and clean up the swamp, but then, you start keeping alligators as pets. I don't know. An RFK Vivek ticket might be a good choice. I'll tell you what, man, it would be interesting. It'd be interesting, but you know, I don't know. The most important thing to me is I'm not trying to be a fan of any one of them or not. I'm more concerned about, and I've always said this, uh, policy over personality. If you got a good policy and you can execute it and it's good for the country, that's really that's really all you need. I don't need the entertainment value. You know, I don't need the pro wrestling, the soap opera, the drama or whatever. And the only reason, like, I remember like thinking to myself, well, it's good that Trump has experience with TV because it's still by and large how you as a leader you communicate with your people, and that's one of the things that made Reagan so good, and that's one of the reasons why he was out of the race before I had a chance to vote for him in the primary. But when Fred Thompson ran before he passed away, I would have voted for him. He understands the camera. He understands that communication tool. And how are you supposed to get anybody on your side with any policy if you can't tell them about it? I can't believe I'm actually liking the way this is turning out so far. I'm really looking forward to not screwing it up. Because usually the second color is the killer. You screw up on the second color, now you gotta, fix what's underneath. And I don't know why I talk about screwing up so much. Yeah, exactly. That's Cool Frog. You're right. You should see him negotiate with Germany. He wants. Oh, Trump. Yeah, sure. And that's not necessarily exclusive to him either. I would like to hear. Valid point. I would like to hear DeSantis talk a little bit more about what his I wouldn't say machinations, but what his ideas are on foreign policy. Because right now, the only thing that I know is that he spent time in a foreign land in the military, which is not in and of itself a bad thing. But if for crying out loud, I would hope that anybody, whoever it is, gets into office. If it's not Trump, that they actually take a few chapters out of his book as far as and foreign relations. Because he was really good at that. He was really good at projecting American strength. But again, I don't think something like that is exclusive to him as a leader. And I don't know how you do it while you're campaigning for president. It's almost like the thing that you've got to find out it's going to happen or not. Well, when that person is on the job, that's kind of scary. Am I in a shot when I do this? Yeah. Just give me a sec. I need this angle. Man, that is really about as complicated as I want to make this thing in the front. But I see a little bit of empty space here. I don't know that I want to. You know what? I can actually do this. This will make sense, and maybe it'll help out a little bit. Yeah, useless wars, great. I would love to see somebody who does not want to be in any foreign entanglements. I guess in short, what I'm saying is this: 2016 Trump was America first. 2024 Trump is Trump first. That's the part I don't like. Um, you know, it's like you got to ask yourself: is it more than just a catchphrase? Make America great again. Is it talk or is it walk? And so I'm looking at the person who's actually walking it. And I only see, I honestly, I don't even, I know it's his branding, but anyways, Squaw Bob, hey, no, I'm not running. Me breathing heavy is because I'm breathing through my mouth. So, yeah, DeSantis was a JAG, not to be confused with JAG-off, Judge Advocate General. You know, I would like to think, and I'm sure because it's occurred to me that it's probably not happening, that the media is spending and the left and the right are spending so much time trying to keep Trump off the ballot that they're ignoring DeSantis, that they think his campaign is in such dire straits that it's something they don't need to worry about. You know what I mean? It's like he's the open receiver that the quarterback just doesn't see. Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys in the chat. Should I try to squeeze something in here, which I don't want to attempt, but if you think it needs it, or if you think I think it might take away, then you know what? I'm not gonna ask you. I'm not doing it for because I don't have the time. If I mess that up, then it's gonna be I'm gonna be doing this again tomorrow, and no squeezing. I don't want to squeeze Squab Bob. I mean, I don't want to squeeze it in there. I don't want to squeeze you either. Not because I don't like you, just because it would be awkward. It would be oddward. Krispy Kreme Christie. Yeah. Well, nobody's actually mentioned him up until now, which kind of tells you something, doesn't it? You're like, yeah, oh yeah, he's what he's still. Can I put him in? He's still running. Chris Christie waddling for president. Geez, could you imagine that actually being a YouTube channel concept that takes up pinstripes and politics? Ugh. There'll always be something to talk about, that's for sure. I'm not squeezing the squab. No. No, it's okay. You're safe. We are anti-squeeze here. Where am I going with this? Well, just because I stopped there doesn't mean I can stop there. Can this here. Who your daddy? Man, I love it when a plan comes together. Oh, let's see. I know I kind of want to stay towards the inside, but these you know what? I'm not. This is one of the nice things about having something going right across the top of the fender. If you can't, so like this is where the forks are going to go. So I know that a lot of this isn't even going to be seen, which in my mind takes pressure off of me doing something that makes any kind of sense. I just want to make sure the composition doesn't suck. So I'll do this, cross it over. I got to remember to turn my head and look here. Um, yeah, crispy subterfuge. Squab Bob's going to change his name to Charmin. I like Vivek's principled responses. There is something about him that just makes me think this is practiced. I've heard him quote, and I mean, Cool Frog would probably know this. Didn't he like outright repeat something that Obama had said in one of his early speeches or something like that? And I don't know why it wouldn't be considered like to the point of Biden plagiarism. If he did something like that, then no doubt the news is going to keep it in their back pocket until they're ready to just take him down, Claudine Gay style. Which, by the way, I I find hilarious. Like, does anybody out there really think that she's not being paid? Like Harvard probably doesn't care that she's the the president. They probably care that she has any influence at all. They're just like, it's okay, you can still be part of the cabal. We'll even pay you. What have I done? You know what? I'm just calling it right here and then moving on. I tend to get into these things where, and again, I don't want one color to be dominant. I mean, I do want one color to be dominant over the other, but I'm still a slave to the fact that the original painter, the original striper, started off with black and then put a whole bunch of silver on top of it. And starting off with a copper, one, I don't know that I would have picked these colors. As much as there is a Run Home to Mama, neutral colors match anything, unless the person was absolutely opposed, I would have gone with a green. Or a stick with the warm palette. Thread that needle. Oh yeah, Jeff, by the way, I got your Instagram video thing. I'd seen that one before. Oh yeah, basically. You know how hard is it to just cite your sources? Or to just whatever the concept is that's being explained and what she's plagiarizing. How hard is it? How small does your brain have to be that you can't just say it another way and then throw something in the footnotes? This is where I got that from. I mean, you got to be two things: lazy and arrogant, and think that everybody around you is stupid, which is arrogance. Okay, let's see. What do I do? Let me look at some old pinstripe designs and see what somebody else did and just copy them and just put that right here on the fender. That's probably acceptable, right? I'll copy the colors. I'll just take the design straight up. In fact, I didn't even want to do that with this thing. That's even more difficult trying to copy somebody else's stuff when it's in this format. All right, I think I got it. Incidentally, the little purple dashes and stuff that you see here, that faint chalk, that is the Powder Lines template available on idcrisis.design.com/merch or /powder-lines. It is a tool for practice and practical use. All right. Now what? Man, this is so skinny. I hate painting myself into a corner like this. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm just going to leave this little V in here. And again, I'm just going to move on. I don't want to cake this thing up with silver. Yeah, and the original painter, I don't think he did a terrible job, but I would be interested to find out how much growth there was since that original fender. Because, I don't want to be critical and not remember, when I first started out, there's no way to know. I don't even know if the guy's alive. But it would be fun to see if, because I've talked to artists in the past and said, oh man, I saw a, fill in the blank of you did this on a fender and whatever. And I remember the one guy, Mike, said to me, he goes, oh my God, that's one of the first things I ever did. And the guy, he goes, I hate it. The guy loves it. it's terrible airbrush work because he was new at it. He goes, and I just keep seeing it over and over again at these bike rallies. He's like, and I just want to push the bike over. Oh no, yeah, sure, I'll redo it, and maybe a different subject matter because it was always like a kind of a fuzzy, foggy, naked woman, but with a skull. And I was like, yeah, bro, I follow you. Straight down the goods. You guys can't even see this. I need to be more cognizant of camera placement. Sorry. Oh, actually, I need to clean this one bit up. I need to dry. I need this to dry before I go to put another stroke on it, or it's gonna make the paint bleed as soon as I put the brush down. All right, straight through here. Yeah, I'm a little off to one side. Yeah, it's not that bad. I can watch. I'll affect change. See how I affected change? I'm affecting change all over the place. I'm affecting so much change right there, I'm going to have to mop up later. Look at all that change. You know what? In keeping with this design element of these little change bulbs, I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time. I'm just going to slap them right here. Big fat change bulb. And then let it end right there. And I am calling it. All right. I don't think the guy asked for this, but you gotta sign it. So want this thinner, clean out my brush a little bit. And there's still a front fairing to do, but that's going to take a little bit more of a complicated setup because they are fiberglass. And I'm going to need a table at probably Friday. Yeah, I work. I work Friday. I work nights this week. Next week, I'm on days. So that'll be, I mean, I'll be home for something, but I appreciate the invites. I haven't been able to get like last time I didn't get on because geez man, Christmas, family time, and then also being sick, was not happy about that. Signature brush. My Von Dago Pro Series signature brush. Is that what this is? Yeah. Look at this little signature brush. So I can try to screw up my signature. So the story behind the signature here is because this is an identity crisis. That the inside joke, I guess, is the last thing that you want to get on your artwork is a fingerprint. The last thing I put on my artwork is a fingerprint, and that's if I like it. I don't sign everything that I do, but if I like it, okay, I'll go ahead and tag that mother. And since a fingerprint is an identifying mark, it kind of fits the handle. And I remember being at I try to make it as small as possible, but if you make it too small, you can't even get it to write. I was at a Pinhead meet, which there's going to be one coming up in February. I cannot wait to see these guys again. I couldn't go last year because I had spent my last vacation day waiting for the plumbers to show up to tell me that I was going to be spending $14,000 on a pot to piss in, literally. So there's always these cool names. Oh, look who it is. Probably has to go pee. Bear, can you not? Bear, where are you? Go up. No. Go upstairs or something. Just give me a minute. This is actually kind of rare. I've been giving him rough greens, that stuff they sell on the Blaze, and he's not as neurotic as he used to be. I'm starting to wonder if we need to keep giving him whatever doggy Adderall crap I don't know what it is, some dog SSRI, whatever. Yeah, but everybody had these names like Brian the Brush is really good, of course, Wizard and all these different things. And I had Zoe with me at one of them, and I was leaving a partnership. I was leaving Paradise Paint. I had previously gone under the moniker of Thick Skin Design like years and years before, but I didn't think about it hard enough. And and somebody asked me if I did tattoo work, and I thought to myself, man, that's a really great name for a tattoo shop. So, but I said that in the car on the way home, trying to think of something fun, and I said, I don't know why I suffer from this identity crisis. And that's why I call it that. It's sort of like saying the name of your band is NFI because you have no fucking idea what you should call your band. So it's like that. All right, let me get this in. See that? All right, so we'll do a little beauty pass here before I sign off. I work Friday. I don't work next Friday. So unless there's some weird family college visit, birthday, who knows whatever thing happening, I should be good to go. Okay, let's see. From one end to the other, and then that's the right there. Okay, front fender done. I'm gonna leave that there. I got to take pictures and send it to my guy. But I'm gonna have to get my shit together before I go to work. Thank you everyone for stopping out. And I'd like to do this. I'd like to do this more often in scheduled, but it's like I don't know when the next job like this is going to come in. If I'm going to be doing a draw stream, like for instance, this job came in. Oh, there's a little bit of something black there. This job showed up. I knew it was coming. I just didn't know it was going to show up. There's an airbrush thing I need to do to a fuel cell for a drag car. I've got two vinyl jobs sitting over there that need to be installed, and they all showed up while I was sitting on the couch, miserable, feeling miserable and sick over Christmas. Like one text alert after another, and you're like, I really don't even want to think about this stuff here. I just want to sip on my my hot tea or whatever it is that I'm enjoying, rather than because I would have done, I had enough work here to do on my own, like my own projects and stuff. But I was just like, at that point, I didn't even have the strength to play a video game. And that's one of the things that I really, really wanted to do while nothing was happening. There's just one thing about this cross that's bothering me. And hopefully I don't screw this up. I just want to make this a little bit more pronounced. Okay, now that's it. Now I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, I the next time I do something like this, hopefully I will have the brains and the time to do some practice strokes so that I'm not moving as slow as I did on this one. It's just like anything else. You have to keep doing it so that keep moving so that you don't lose your movement. And a lot of times, man, going into a job for 8 hours and then coming back and sleeping and getting involved in all this other stuff that you need to do instead of doing your craft, even just like drawing figures. You spend so much brain power trying to make sure that it doesn't look bad that you don't have any brain power left over to do anything creative or innovative. And I really hate that. So I can give you a preview of something that's going to be going up into my art storefronts store here. This is one of the things I wanted to work on. No, somebody's calling. Who is that? I'll get him later. Okay, is this. Let me get this up here. So what is this, 16 by 17? I had done something like this. I have a picture of it on my, it's in my iPhotos, and I did it freehand. And then man, I took the time to turn this into an Illustrator file so that just the black showed through, and that's what I'm in the process of now. Is whenever I'm working on this, I have this camera sitting over the art desk so that I can you know, produce a video and stuff along the way. But I this is one of those rare moments where I like it. I mean, the pinstripe job over there is, you know, better than I expected, but this I like the way this is turning out, and I can't wait to see it finished. Thank you. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, I'm thinking maybe I should do another one. I have to go back through the DMs. I think you did send me your address. I have to get on that. I'm sorry about that. I need to send that out. But I feel like maybe I should try another one. You know, and maybe shouldn't that be, you know, my philosophy? You know, since I'm talking about it so much now, it's, you know, it's not actually done unless you like it. But then, you know, customer has to like it. You have to get paid and all that stuff. But you are right. I do have to get that. I still have it. I got to get it out. I got to get that to you. Either that or something better than that. I'll surprise you. But I do. I think I remember. If I remember correctly, either that or I experienced it in a fever dream. But I think you did DM me your mailing address. I'm gonna have to scroll back and check that out. Okay, for real though. All right, no, that's cool. All right, that is that then. Thank you everybody for coming over. Sure, we have so many ways to stay in touch. It's absolutely impossible to lose any one of you. But until next time, you know how it goes. Like and subscribe. And where am I going here? I had some of these. Yeah, like and subscribe.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, share the video with your friends, and don't forget to visit my website, idcrisisdesign.com. You can see a lot of great artwork and my products for sale. Links are in the description. Thanks for watching.
All right, guys, that's it. Talk to you later.